today by our chaplain, John. Anyone can submit a prayer of gratitude or a prayer request in this box, and our chaplains respond with affirmative and loving care to all that's contained within. These are also shared with Silent Unity, where they're held in prayer 24 hours a day for 30 days. Knowing that someone is praying for us or with us encourages us to believe that good is unfolding in our life. This turns us away from worry and opens us to gratitude, making way for the highest good to manifest. And now Isabel Gillen will read the daily word.
Good morning. Today's daily word is gratitude. Gratitude is my heart's song. Gratitude is my heart's natural response when I think of the best life has to offer. But sometimes when I compare my circumstances with someone else's, or when I am distracted by negative thoughts or challenging situations, my closed heart may feel resentment rather than gratitude. I let the first twinge of resentment remind me to return to gratitude. I pause, breathe, and remember the truth of my being. Knowing I am a unique expression of God, I open my heart and realize again the divine presence that is always with me. I mindfully reconnect with the indwelling life, love, wisdom, understanding, and strength that have helped me grow through even the most challenging experiences of my life. My heart sings with gratitude. And from Psalm 86, verse 12, I give thanks to you, O Lord my God, with my whole heart.
Okay, I guess I'm up again. Not sure if there are lyrics for this one. I'm going to do Love Is My Decision by Daniel Nahmod. If you know it, sing along. Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. Once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. My decision, right here and now.
And now, with a purposeful conversation, we turn it over to Aisha and Kathy. Sorry about that. You could say the Lord's Prayer with me. Our Creator, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from error. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory. Amen. Now, with a purposeful conversation, we turn it over to Aisha and Kathy.
It's a real honor to be here today. So in the midst of all the changes that are going on in the world today and this morning,
more about that in a second.
we would like to offer an opportunity to engage in purposeful conversation to assist each one of us in igniting our inner light to illuminate our paths. This topic of conversation today is about volunteering to be on Earth. So, Kathy, what is the craziest thing you've ever done?
Keep in mind, this was written before this morning. This morning was pretty crazy. So anyway, going back to the script, the craziest, huh? Right this minute, I would say it was agreeing to do this lesson today. I'm finding out just how uncomfortable I am in front of the microphone and how much more comfortable I am sitting on the piano bench. What about you, Aisha? What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
I would have to say volunteering to come to Earth. This is without a doubt a very crazy experience, and at some point I thought it was a great idea. And now sometimes I can't remember exactly why, but
You're not alone. And on that note, we were going to share a video with you. And due to some audio-visual technicality difficulties, there will not be a video today. We didn't find this out until about 35 minutes ago. So we quickly worked with the transcript. And we're going to read the transcript to you. It will be our first time through it. There's not been a dress rehearsal or anything like that. So we promise to give you our very best, and please bear with us. Anything else I need to share first? Oh, I know. If you were watching the video, I want to tell you what it would be. It's two young girls. They're probably like about 10 and 12. And they're actually the daughters of the man who made the video. And they're sitting. Let's show them how they're sitting. And when you see the sides in the back of them, out there is a gigantic, beautiful, beautiful landscape, like the most beautiful landscape you can imagine.
An ocean, right?
Yes,
It's like-
ocean. I think so. And they're communicating telepathically through the whole conversation. So we will now share the transcript with you, but we will be communicating telepathically. So tell me, out of everything you've ever done, what's the craziest experience you've ever had?
That's easy. Earth.
You went to Earth?
I did.
No way. You were a human?
I was.
Wow. Are the stories about Earth true? Were they really trapped on Earth?
Some were. I know because I was one of the volunteers.
Wait a second. You volunteered to go to Earth?
I did. I had to. I had family trapped on Earth.
But how could you get trapped on Earth?
You had to be there to understand. On Earth, you wouldn't remember anything. You wouldn't remember anything.
What do you mean you wouldn't remember anything?
I mean, you would have no memory of anything. You wouldn't even remember existing before Earth.
What? How is that even possible?
It was designed that way. It was brilliant to dive as deeply as possible into such ignorance, such darkness, and still find your way back to remembering who you were. That took true mastery.
Wow. I still can't believe you went to Earth. Tell me more.
Well, Earth had its own set of laws that everyone agreed to experience, like gravity, what goes up must come down, like linear time, day is followed by night.
Time? What's time?
You know how when we think of something, it manifests instantly? Well, on Earth, there was a delay. The delay is what made Earth so difficult.
Interesting. Time. So tell me more.
Before going to Earth, you would choose your family, whether you wanted to be male or female, what race you wanted to be, the location on the planet, things like that.
Oh, so you could choose your own character.
Exactly. You would choose to enter the Earth as a baby and be completely dependent on others to teach you the rules. But since nobody could remember the rules, they made up their own rules based on fear and giving your power away to others.
That doesn't sound like much fun.
It wasn't for everyone.
What did you do while portions of you were on Earth?
I watched them. It was pretty funny.
What was so funny?
Here were these magnificent beings playing the most unique and cutting-edge experience in the universe. And they were clueless. I tried to guide them as much as possible.
Wait a second. You could communicate with them?
Yes, but they couldn't hear me. I would show them synchronicities, and I was giving them impulses to help guide them, but they couldn't see the signs.
Why not?
They didn't trust themselves.
So is that why they sent out a call for help?
Exactly.
Is that when you went?
No. I didn't go until later. The first volunteers, they had it the worst.
What do you mean, the worst?
Well, they killed them.
What? They killed them?
Yeah, they killed the volunteers. Those on Earth couldn't understand what the volunteers were telling them. The idea that they were equal to the volunteers scared them.
What were they telling them?
Common sense stuff, like all the answers you seek are inside you. Everything I can do, you can do, and more. And so they killed them. And then they killed them. And then they twisted the volunteers' message and created even more fear.
What do you mean, more fear?
Like the message, God is inside you, was turned into, you are separate from God. The message that all the answers you seek are inside you was twisted into, you can't trust yourself.
And they believed it?
Yes, it was out of control.
How could they believe that?
You had to be there to understand. Did you know they actually believed that they were the only intelligent life in the universe?
Now, that's funny. That's funny.
Pretty crazy, I know.
So then what happened?
The designers knew the Earth was going to enter a section of the galaxy that humans had never experienced before. A section filled with a frequency that might be able to reconnect the human's DNA.
Well, what was wrong with their DNA?
It didn't work anymore. The thing is, their DNA was how they connected with their higher self.
So that's why that's how your incarnations can hear you?
Exactly. But there was a catch. There was a catch with the new plan. Only those incarnated on Earth could tune in to those new frequencies.
Oh, so then they needed more volunteers.
Yes. But this time they were taking no chances. To pull this off, they needed millions in the physical form, wired and ready to attune to these frequencies.
Are these the 21st century lives that all the stories are about?
Yep. We volunteered from every corner of the universe to help the humans wake up.
Well, what did the volunteers have to do once they got there?
Well, we had to wake ourselves up, attune to these frequencies, and spread them to the rest of the planet.
That sounds impossible.
Most of those watching the Earth experiment didn't think we could pull it off.
So what happened when you got to Earth?
Once on Earth, we were taught the same fear-based beliefs that had been handed down for eons. We lived just like everyone else, totally clueless to who we were and what was getting ready to happen. But as soon as the Earth entered this cloud of frequencies, we started to question everything. And one by one, we started to wake up.
So the plan was working.
It was. The more we trusted ourselves, the quicker we reconnected, and the faster we started to remember what was happening. And since we were spread out evenly all around the planet's frequency began to rise quickly.
And what happened when the planet's frequency began to rise?
The humans' experience of time began speeding up. They started manifesting their beliefs faster and faster. And those consumed with fear created even more fear, and eventually Earth just spun out of control.
What do you mean by out of control?
These low frequency beliefs that had controlled the human experience for eons could no longer exist. So they began to self-destruct, and the world fell into complete chaos.
That sounds terrifying.
It was. It was for those living in fear. But for us volunteers, we all knew it was the end of the old energy and the beginning of the new.
So then what happened?
A tipping point was reached in our awakening, and we created a new earth.
A new earth? What happened to the old earth?
That continued on, allowing those who could not let go of their fears to play out their lessons. But for us, we created a new earth that matched our higher frequency, and as easy as that, all the fear-based beliefs simply fell away in the instant we remembered who we were. We knew we were all connected, and we stopped hurting each other. We started respecting each other, started loving each other. We took back our power to create, and we created a new earth without fear.
Wow. So the legends are true. What an incredible experience that must have been. Nice work.
Thanks.
Wasn't that a great video? So originally, we'd planned to conduct the rest of this conversation now telepathically, but since we already did the video telepathically, you've got the idea.
And we're really looking forward to hearing any reactions you might have, or any questions or comments, or hearing what stood out for
We
you.
do have to be mindful of the microphone for, no, that's just it. People here can hear you, but we have to do this for
the
what's
video.
being audio recorded. So can you come up here? We don't want to turn you off to sharing the conversation, but we have to do the microphone stuff.
All right, is this good? Yes. Okay, I just wanted to say thank you. I had to lean over and tell Jane while you were in the middle of that, and I just kind of poked her on the shoulder and said, "This is everything I've been talking about."
Thank you. Other thoughts?
So that was beautiful. I just want to say that I did have a telepathic experience when my brother was passing, the first time he was leaving, and he wasn't ready to leave, and he was nonverbal. He had cerebral palsy and special needs, but he chose that life. He came to Earth and he chose that life. And I was chosen to be his sister. My mother was chosen to be his mother. But the first time he was passing, he wasn't ready to leave. And he was telling me in words how much he loved my mother and how he loved being on Earth. And he just wanted to hear more. And I could hear every word. It was on Christmas Day. I could hear every word. When he died about a year later, and he was ready. And since then, I continue to hear telepathically all the time from people. So I really appreciate that. It was beautiful. Well done.
Thank you. Anne?
Carrie, thank you for sharing that. That so goes along with what I wanted to say about how when you open your mind to the fact that there might be a different way to think about things, everything can change. Thank you for bringing up the subject.
Sure. This is beautiful. Part of our whole purpose in doing this was not to stand up here and speak to you, but to encourage as many people as possible to share. So thank you so very much.
Thank you. That was lovely. It was a real beautiful moment of connection for me and oneness and understanding that journey that I've been through for a long, long time. Excuse me. And my awakening has taken a lifetime, really. It's not something I just decided to do one day and it happened. I had to go through a lot of experiences to understand that journey, you know. And it is beautiful, it really is. When I got to that point where I understood that the presence within lives inside of me, because I grew up, you know, with a presence out there, you know, that would always record stuff and that I would, you know, be wrath in some form or way if I did something, you know. So the journey of my awakening has been a step at a time, a day at a time, and a connection at a time. You know, I always think as hope as hearing other people's experiences, and that's what I stayed connected to. Because every experience that I've heard and everything that I've seen in my lifetime has got me to this place that I am today, of this deep, deep connection. So I'll share a quick story. Years ago, I got a call from my nephew, and he said, "Can you come to my mother's? She's in hospice, and she wants to talk to you." It was my sister, and I had not spoken to her in 12 years. She lived a life of drug and abuse and lived in the streets of New York City, and we tried many times to help her through that process. Well, it didn't happen. And I got this call, and I said to myself, no, I really just let her go and let her be and, you know, let her move on to her next experience. And I hung up. And the next day he called me again, and he said, "Titi," which is in Spanish, aunt, "can you please come? If you can't come for her, please come for me." And he's my nephew, which I adore, so I went for him. So I drove 4 hours from Maryland to Bronx, New York. And as I got there and I went to the desk, asked where her room was, and I was in the elevator going up to the floor, and I said to myself, what am I doing here? I really don't want to be here. You know, but there was a voice inside of me that said, you need to be here. So as the doors opened and I walked down the hall and down to her room, I realized that, you know, it was okay, that I was just going to go in there and say, I forgive you, you know, please move on. But what happened was I got down there and the door opened, and there was my sister lying on this bed that I hadn't seen for 12 years. And we were singing that song, that God is love, right? And at that moment, the very essence of the deep-rooted thing inside of me, that is the God love inside of me, that healing God love, came up to the surface. And I looked at my sister, and I grabbed her, and I said, I love you more than anything, more than anything. And it was only, you know, a week or so later that she passed. But I knew that I was in the right place and that she knew that she was loved, that no matter what, you know. And that's the journey of awakening, because at that moment, man, so many things opened up for me in my life. And that understanding of connection, of oneness, is what I live with today. So thank you for letting me share this.
Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Isn't that like a perfect illustration of what they talked about, what we talked about from the transcript of becoming a master while you're here on earth? It's exactly it.
Hi. Thank you. This subject really, when my first wife, Marlene, was dying, okay, and she was in hospice at home. They give you things to read about death and dying, and I did a lot of reading on that. And I was with her when she died and transitioned. I'm not going to use the word die. Her sister transitioned about 6 months after Marlene, and my mother transitioned a couple months after that. So within an 11-month period of time, I was there with 3 very special people. And during that time, I was ordering the stuff, the books on Amazon. And you know how Amazon does, they give you suggestions based on, yeah, we all know that. And they suggested books on just exactly what you're talking about. And I will tell you, I was fascinated and books about psychotherapists that didn't believe in God at all, and hypnotized people and went through their journey of past lives and past lives and past lives, reincarnation, and about how we choose our path to come to earth, and in what form. Poor, rich, male, female, mother, son, a priest versus a killer, to experience and to grow and to learn from different perspectives. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating. So,
Thank you.
yeah. Thank you.
I'll be quick, but this week was interesting, this particular subject. Mike Gassick sent me something regarding Edgar Cayce. If you're not familiar with Edgar Cayce and Virginia Beach, that's an outstanding place, and Cayce really does endorse totally what you're saying. At the same spot where Mike and Joan Gassick are sitting, I sat in November of 1975. I went through a meditative experience that the lady minister at that time did. About 2 hours later, they asked me to leave because they wanted to close the church, but the meditation was a meditation in which I learned, I had answers to questions which I had never asked. One, I had never asked about reincarnation. I certainly never asked about whether I was living multiple lives simultaneously in different universes. But in that experience, I experienced all the answers to those questions which I had never posed. And that all fits in with the Cayce stuff and what you're suggesting. So there's a heck of a lot more out there. And unity is simply, and new thought is just one of the mechanisms by which one survives and makes it through this universe and this time and place. But it doesn't have all the answers either.
Thank you, Sam.
Folks, I want to ask you a question. Theoretically, we should stop and do a meditation, which would be about 5 or 6 minutes. And I'd like to ask you if it would be okay if we allow people to continue to share, and that will be our meditation for today. I don't know what order. We have 3 more people for sure, so we'll at least do you 3, okay? So however you want to work it out.
Good morning. My name is Sandra, and my story starts when I was about 3 years old. I wanted to go home. I had a home with 8 brothers and sisters, but I didn't feel at home. And then I kept asking questions, and they kept saying, "You're too inquisitive. Don't bother. Just shut up." So I continued verbally to still ask lots of questions. And as I transitioned through my life, home became very important to me. I just didn't feel like I was home, and I would draw symbols. Eventually, I married a builder, which was synchronistic, and I still didn't feel at home. I had plenty of people I loved and had some psychic experiences that asked even more questions. So then I got involved with reincarnation, and that answered why I had all the many questions. So in time, I feel like you're all my brothers and sisters, and I could cry with the beauty because I'm looking forward to going home for the last time. Hopefully, I got it right. So hopefully I've learned my lessons, and each day I try sincerely to live what I know, not just let it be a talk, but an action of life. So thank you for unity, and what a wonderful world, unity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So you don't want to be a volunteer again? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Doris, and I'm a little nervous doing this. I feel like if you've ever heard the story of Chris Christopherson, he wrote this song called Why Me, Lord, What Have I Ever Done? But he says he was at a church, and they said, you know, like, if you feel like you're longing for the Lord, and he's like, my hand just went up, like it just, someone pulled it up, and this is my Chris Christopherson moment. So this theme really hits home to me about trusting yourself, because this is something for over the past years, a couple years, that I've really been struggling with. I so want to trust myself, and I feel I'm being called to do something, like to be a spiritual healer. And right now I'm a nurse, and I'm so burnt out with Western medicine, and just the whole framework is just so demoralizing, but I'm scared, and I feel like I'm changing despite myself, like almost like I'm trying to hide, but you know, God is finding me, and as I look around, I hear this message, and I keep hearing it over and over, and about the changes happening on Earth and the tipping point, and it's really exciting, and so. It's nice to be with like-minded people, because I really think I need that support to move into this, my awakening. And I thank you, everybody, for listening.
Oh, thank you.
Hi, my name is Riley. Mine's super short. There was something in the video that was talking about how there's like this fear-based spiral, and like it's so easy, I feel like, in this world and in this universe, that there's so many factors you could say like that feel like they're out of our control, like they genuinely feel like something other than us is happening. And it's so easy to just like go into this like spiral of like fear and lack of control and helplessness and separation. And just hearing everybody else's experiences and hearing the video, it's so nice to be able to like relax into the fact of like, what if maybe we did choose to come here, and we maybe chose to experience these things, not because they're really painful or they're really hard to go through, but the fact that we are strong enough to deal with these things and keep a higher connection. And I think that's just so beautiful to like think about us, our power as like humans, and our connection, and how deep that goes, that in the midst of chaos we can still have that option to listen to our guides and like listen to our higher selves and our angels, because they're always there. So I just
Thank you. Anyone else have a burning desire to speak today? You want to? Come on up. While she's walking up here, I just wanted to ask you a question. If you're comfortable, could you raise your hand if you believe in your heart that you are a volunteer here on earth? Thank you. I was just curious.
In the interest of not having enough time, and something burning I felt saying within myself. Within myself, yeah. Okay, thanks. I want to say what Tony said. what Tony said. What Tony said. It's time for us to believe it, to live it. Let us all keep saying it until more and more people hear us, live it and benefit by it. And thank you, you two. Fabulous entertainer, and you told the story as we all want to do. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Tony is always telling me things like that, and I tend to actually get kind of aggravated, kind of like, okay, enough about that, you're kind of killing me with this, I hope you're not going over the deep end. And so it's I'm sort of resistant to the idea of like choosing to have been with the family or with and stuff, because basically it's like, I must have chosen some sort of like a hard mode, like that it was sort of like, from the family that I chose to go into, it was like created a lot of trauma and difficulties and led to health issues from all that. So just to me, it's sort of like, why would I have chosen that? But then maybe he's right though, because I have noticed that it's kind of like, there's parts of me that have really like grown from that. Like I've even become funnier and a stronger person and had more empathy. So there's just been like a lot I've learned from it, and I probably would be completely different. So I don't know. I guess I sort of like you were saying, it's like, why did I pick this? But it also probably could be true.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Yes, it's like choosing a grain of sandpaper. Yes.
You know, I just had one thought I wanted to add while you were speaking just now, and it's, you know, if you think about the concept of being a volunteer, and I've been watching a few other videos recently about our purpose and our contract, our soul purpose, or whatever words you would like to use. And what I keep seeing, and I was actually just talking about this yesterday with a friend, I have a hard time remembering it all the time, is that when you cure like an illness within yourself or a health issue, your frequency, we talked about the frequency from the video, and it's influencing everywhere, the world. It goes further than what you can know. And that's all part of being a volunteer, I think, and our purpose. So,
all right. Well, thank you everyone for being a part of this conversation, and we look forward to
doing it again,
hosting more conversations.
Yeah, thank you so very much.
So I think now it's time to do the offering, since we're past the meditation part. So say along with me, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful. And I'm going to play The Wind by Cat Stevens, which was on there earlier, but I'm going to play it now. God really knows. I sat upon the setting sun, but never, 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 I never wanted water once, but never, never, never. Listen to my words, but they fall far below. I let my music take me where my heart wants to go. I swam upon the devil's lake, but never, 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 I never made the same mistake, but never, never, never. I listen to the wind of my soul. Well, end up well, I think only God really knows. I sat upon the setting sun, but never, 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 I never wanted water once, but never, never, never.
Spiritually nourished, and to affirm the abundance in which we've been given to share. Amen. And now Carol, give the announcements.
The Tuesday evening meditation with Daryl. It may, it's possible it may not happen this Tuesday. I guess, that's all I can say for now. There's an ice cream social today after service, including a non-dairy for those who would like that. Come by, stop by the multi-purpose room for that. We have some lovely treats. This one's not on the board, but the World Day of Prayer will be September 10th and 11th, starting at 7 p.m. Missouri time in Unity Village. They have a live stream service that goes around the world. And remember, it's going to be 8 o'clock Rochester time, but you're welcome to watch that and enjoy. It's a 24-hour day of prayer, which unity.org chooses every year. We do it every September. On Thursday, September 11th, starting at noon, there will be the noon meditation, and there will be prayer chaplains in the sanctuary from then until 6 p.m. that evening. If you're welcome to come to the sanctuary anytime that afternoon to pray, and we'll have a sign-up sheet if you'd like to commit to praying for a half hour as well for the 24-hour vigil during that period. And I will be available for prayer after the service for anybody who would like any concerns or anything they need to share. And thank you so much. So I think now we're ready to do the prayer for joy.
Light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And now let's circle up around the sanctuary for Let There Be Peace on Earth. God bless us all.